welcome to National Girls and Women in Sports Day. My name is Denise Thompson, the Assistant Commissioner for Communications and External Affairs with the conference office. I am a graduate of Fairleigh Dickinson University, where I was a 4-time cross country and track and field student athlete. And on the side, I'd like to also say that I was the SAC Vice President, just to add a little bit of note to that. So thank you and welcome. And please, our guests will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Coach Jenny Huth. I played college basketball at the University of Colorado. I'm now the head women's basketball coach at Northern Colorado. And I played basketball mostly growing up, but my favorite was playing quarterback with my brothers in the backyard.
My name is Janie Nadolski. I am the Senior Associate Commissioner with the Big Sky Conference. I was a basketball player at Weber State University. Growing up, I was a multi-sport athlete, played volleyball and basketball and track and softball, anything I could do to compete.
My name is Zach Claus. I am a part of the men's basketball program here at the University of Idaho. I played every sport I could get my hands on growing up and played basketball here in the conference at Eastern Washington University.
I'm Pauline Theros. I played volleyball at Idaho State University. I played everything else I possibly could up until then, growing up. And today I'm the Director of Athletics at Idaho State. And I love all things Bengal and all things women in sports.
Thank you guys for joining us today. You know, we all touched on a little bit of our sports background. You know, who can share just one of your favorite memories from playing sports growing up?
I can tell you one. I was playing tennis all the way up until about 12 years old. And I was winning the novice tournaments, and then all of a sudden I got put into a national tournament, and both of my cousins were college tennis players, and they're like, all right, you're going to do great. You're going to do great. And I just was going on sheer talent to get to that point. So I get into this national tournament and I got beat 6-0, 6-0. And my brother came up to me. He's like, you got smoked. I went back and I started practicing more because I realized I had a lot of work to do. But it was also a defining moment. Not only did it teach me what resilience really looked like, but it also taught me that, you know, my favorite sport was actually basketball, and that I was gonna have to kind of decide which sport I was gonna pick. Even though I really enjoyed tennis, I played all through high school as well. I loved basketball, and I loved it because I loved the team aspect of it.
What about you, Zach?
For me, it's the memories that I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska with some of my buddies growing up. And it was whether we were playing baseball in the parking lot across the street, whether it was going, stealing the keys from one of our wonderful high school PE teachers that would allow us to get in there when we probably weren't supposed to, but rounding up my buddies all the time to go play something. It could be going to play football, didn't matter. Those were some unbelievable memories growing up that I shared with those guys.
Janie, you played in the Big Sky, you know, so can you tell us one of your memories from college times?
Oh, I remember I was a senior and I had just gotten some really bad news, some personal family bad news, and we were playing University of Montana that night. And they're still a really great program now, but at the time they were unstoppable. And we were hosting them, and I was not in a mental place to do it, but I got in, and I know why you asked this question, Denise, because I know you know that I fouled out in 10 minutes in that game. But it was the best game of my career. I had like 8 rebounds, and I remember I was able to shut down their big girl in the middle. And I think it's because I just like let go of everything and just played, and I didn't overthink it. But I do believe I hold a Big Sky record for quickest foul out. And it's something that I continue to brag. That's really my only brag point from when I played college ball. But yeah, that's what I remember from my time.
What about you, Pauline?
You know, I will never forget the Big Sky tournament championship match hosted in Reed Gym my freshman year against Eastern Washington. That was back in the days of side out volleyball. And this match took over 3.5 hours to play. And I don't think teams were ever separated by more than 1 or 2 points. And in the end, we won on an Eastern Washington error that was just out by, I mean, if we had instant replay back in the day, I don't know if it would have been in or out, but it wasn't out by much. And it was such a competitive, demonstrated just the grit and the iron will that it required to win that game, because everybody was skilled. And this just came down to who could outlast the lines on the court. So one of my very favorite memories ever.
There are a lot of lessons, whether it's teamwork or, you know, how to come from behind. Can anyone just share, you know, how did playing sports help you, whether it was helping you grow while you were in school, helping you now in your profession, or just you maybe personally?
I think sports has so many advantages. It helps your confidence. You have to spend a lot of hard work and dedication at your craft. It teaches you how to be selfless. Sometimes your teammates shine, sometimes you shine. And really sharing in the victories, whether it was small or big. It takes a lot of resilience. You have to learn how to bounce back after losses and not get too high off of wins. So a lot of really cool, valuable lessons that 100% I take into my parenting, into my relationship with my staff, my peers. All of those things come into play because of college athletics.
Zach, do you ever share any of those memories with your student athletes now?
You know, I talk to them undoubtedly about prioritizing your time and trying to figure out what's most important. And for us, you know, it starts with the big two in terms of taking care of your schoolwork and then getting on the basketball floor and giving your best to your teammates. And all that other time you have to prioritize. And whether it's spending the extra time studying, working on a paper, getting ready for a test, getting in the gym to do some extra shooting, you're in a different boat as a student athlete versus the regular, you know, student body. And those are your two staples that, you know, brought you to your university, and it's up to you to exert all your energy into those two. And, you know, when the time is right to have a little fun, have a little bit of downtime, which everyone needs, you do so, but those are your two priorities.
Janie, where did your passion for playing sports come from?
You know, I grew up in Southeast Idaho, on a farm and way far away from any other human beings. And there was we didn't have a whole lot of money. And really that's all I had. And I got bullied as a kid. I was this big, tall, lanky, no any kind of coordination or anything like that. But once I found sports, whether it was volleyball or basketball, and I realized I was finally good at something, because I can't do art, I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, but I can do any sport. And once I found that, my confidence just bloomed. And I became this confident person who knew that if I applied myself to it, I could be very successful. And so I always say that my confidence, I earned my confidence on the court, and that continued to propel me through my life.
Pauline, through your experiences in being a volleyball student athlete, your daughter is also a volleyball student athlete. Is there a lesson that you learned in there that, you know, kept her away from tennis like Coach Huth, but kept her a little bit more on the volleyball court instead?
You know, in our family, it's just all about passion. I was really passionate about the sport of volleyball. I loved it. I loved playing. I loved being with my teammates. There was a lot of joy there, but you know, the passion to keep doing all of the things that you have to do to really get good at something and to excel at it is what passion means to me, more than the rah, rah, yay on the court. It's that thing that gets you through when circumstances aren't perfect. And I think I'm just lucky that my daughter shared that passion. And so we were always both in the same place at the same time, doing the same thing. And we built a lot of memories. But I think being passionate about what you do and the people that you have the honor and pleasure of doing it for and with is a great thing about competition, that it makes it really, really worth it.
For those of you who have not seen Pauline's workout video lately with her daughter that she was definitely pushed to the next level. We may add that for you if she lets us. But I think that's just another example of, the bond and, how sports helps you, not just on the court or on the field, but away from it, whether that's, like you said, passion, whether it's the hard work and ethic, prioritizing and different things like that. And I think that that is, what we all working in college athletics are trying to push towards today's youth, so that when we want to retire and step out of the spotlight, that we've done enough for everyone else. But speaking of women that have done tremendous things for women's sports, I'm going to throw out a few names to you guys out there. And if you can just give me one word that comes to mind when I say these names, we can definitely see how that goes. So the first one is Lisa Leslie.
Dunker.
This is not one word, but I don't care. We got next. Because if y'all remember those commercials, that was so inspiring to me and my girlfriends, and we started to do that a lot.
Yes,
Leadership. Sorry, Zach.
I'm close on Jen, because I remember her being a finisher and just being able to go make plays around the basket constantly.
She's a charismatic leader.
Hey fans, they're cheating. They're not sticking with one words, but it's okay. I'm gonna let it slide. Up next, Misty May and Carrie Walsh.
Fierce competitors.
Teamwork.
Champions.
Determined.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right. Venus and Serena Williams.
Trailblazers.
Ooh, that's a good one. Power.
Yes.
Gotta think on this one. Both of them.
I'll say they are passionate. That is for sure. I love it.
I would say fierce for them.
Billie Jean King.
Uncommon.
I would also say she's a trailblazer.
I would echo that one. I'm not going off of that one. I agree. Trailblazer for Billie Jean King.
She's a fighter. Love her.
Mia Hamm.
Passionate.
I never got to watch soccer when I was younger, so I
She's on the
remember.
cover of Sports Illustrated like this on her knees
I
after she
know.
scored the goal.
I have a word, but I don't think I want to say it online. Let's just say fierce. I would say fierce for Mia.
I would say grace for her, with the way in which she competed and the way she handled herself on and off the field.
Feisty. For sure.
I like it. I like it. Simone Biles.
Elegance in motion.
I like to play on words there.
I know this isn't what, but she's so impressive. Like what she's able to do, I don't think it is humanly possible.
I would say powerful.
Very poised.
Last but definitely not least, Pat Summitt.
Boss.
I would say, oh gosh, there's so many, but I would just say inspirational.
I'm going with tough.
All of the above, but I think Pat Summitt coached with an awful lot of love. That's what I think about with Pat.